let's talk Full Gear. We'll just run down. I'll just
Yes.
gauge your feelings.
Actually, I'm good. Let me pull up the
Search 'em.
card here
Okay.
while
While you
do
do
the
that,
intro.
I
Yes.
will.
Okay.
We'll go pre-show first, and then we'll just go randomly through. I don't even
Yes.
know what order I have them in here. I have a couple of predictions for pre-show. I'm thinking we'll probably get Hook and Wheeler Yuta added as
Yes, that sounds
after
right.
the after the tag match this week.
Is this going to be a 2-hour pre-show
I don't
again,
know.
or just one?
I don't know. I hope
They
not.
love adding these things on there, but
They just make it too dense.
I agree, and there will be a mid-card female match on here.
I was wondering if they might debut. Do you think they might debut Mariah May, or just have her in like?
No, because she's getting
early.
involved in that Tony Storm.
Just
match.
show up there.
Yes.
And then maybe the Kingdom versus Darius. And,
there you go. There's
Andretti.
the tag. Yeah, there's another. Yeah, the tag team match or something like that.
That'll be in there. Got to have that. And then that'll bring Roddy out because I don't think he's anywhere else on this show. So he'll be in the corner for that. So that'll be a good pre-show segment for him. All right. Let's so the other big pre-show, we'll talk the MJF stuff, I guess. MJF and question mark versus the Guns for the ROH tag title. Do you think this is when we pull the trigger? Let's start first. Do you think this is going to be the night that they pull the trigger on the devil thing? Whatever that is. Do you think there's going to be a big reveal?
Yes, I think it, but I think it will be for during the main event.
During the main event. I'm wondering if the Minions get involved in this match. I think
possibly. Boy, I could make a case. Well, let me put it this way: if Adam Cole's the devil, they lose the tag titles in the pre-show.
Yeah,
because I think the Guns may be going and doing final battle in ROH. I don't think MJF's going to go down there and defend this with somebody.
Yeah.
So, and I think Joe's the partner, and I think Joe turns on him at some point, leaves him for dead.
I'm wondering if he tries to go it alone and loses because of it.
Oh, okay, I could see that too.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you're right though. I think it's time to end that.
I think the ROH World Tag Team titles are good for the Guns.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Last year, I went to Final Battle last year, and they seem to be setting up the Guns as like the big heel tag team in ROH that at that show.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And so maybe there's kind of right in the timeline again. All right. So, well, I guess go ahead and talk about the main event while we're there with MJF.
Okay.
I don't think anyone expects Jay to win.
No.
It'd be kind of interesting if he did, other than the fact he's been basically the champion for the last 6 weeks or however long.
I'll tell you something else. If the Devil's revealed as Tony Khan, this would be the place to do it and for Jay White to be the champion. Yeah. Where he screws over MJF. But I think that's happening. No. Devil's not. No, I'm taking everything back. The Devil's not being revealed here. Devil's being revealed at World's End in Long Island or in Nassau. Yeah. Has to be.
Whoever it is screws him over for the title in his hometown.
Yeah, I don't think we get any of that. I think we get like a video, thing. But or we get a tease or something. But I don't think they reveal it here. But yeah, MJF's retaining here somehow.
Yep, it'd be nice to see him get that belt back. I was pretty tired of watching Jay White main event shows with the title.
I hate that trope.
I hate it too. It's really been one of the
It makes the champ look like such a geek.
Yeah. Although I love that Mark Briscoe match.
Oh no, the Mark Briscoe match was fantastic. Mark Briscoe match made me believe for a moment they were going to add him in. For a moment.
Yeah. I did like that going into the show on paper, they wanted you to believe that it was conceivable to have a Daniel Garcia Mark Briscoe world title match on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, I hope Briscoe's on this pre-show or is MJF's partner or something. That guy was on three different 3 different shows, and his
Yeah.
promos were fantastic on all 3.
His
Man.
when I went to Collision in Wichita, which was a very boring show, which was a bummer, but he was the highlight of the show. And when even just on the video screen, people on the video screen, when he's talking about, I cannot divulge that information, like people just loved it.
That made me lose it.
He's just
it's like
magic.
Keith Lee and the big words. Whenever Mark Briscoe uses terminology he should never be using, just makes me laugh.
Yeah, he was fantastic, and he was fantastic on this, and he's not on the show, not booked on the show.
Nope.
Just another person taken for granted. Maybe he'll be in the Continental.
Oh, I'm hoping he's in the Continental.
That would be good. It would be really good, because he could go 3-2 or 2-3 or whatever, and still be great and believable.
Give him those paydays.
All right. Christian, Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus, now dubbed the Patriarchy, apparently is his new new name.
That is so fantastic.
I hope somebody gets a sign taken away that says F the Patriarchy. Versus Darby, Sting, and Adam Copeland. We got to see Sting.
I hope they have a shirt that says the Patriarchy always wins.
Oh. Oh, that's
won't come in women's, but it'll come in men, so it'll be great.
I always have to think, like, whenever I see those shirts, like, I think you look at them at a vacuum and then you think, who's choosing to wear that shirt? Like, what was the original? What was the old Becky Lynch shirt? She was called a Last Kicker.
Yes.
And like they would have like men's extra large shirts that said Last Kicker on them, and I'm like, who's wearing that? What man is going out in public wearing a shirt that says he's a Last Kicker?
The domestic abuser. Yes. Obviously. Yes. Just move on, but I say dumb things like that. Just move on.
That's right. Adam Copeland looked a little like he's been taking his vitamins, I think.
That's possible. There is no drug testing in AEW.
I think there's some thoughts and prayers. Or not thoughts and prayers. What is it?
Might vitamins be visiting the old testosterone factory.
Maybe.
Stay young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be. He's looking a little cut.
Here's the question here. Does Ric Flair turn on Sting here or later in the year? Towards closer.
I would kind of love it. I would kind of love it if he just did it right away. And then like he could be like Christian's dad. He's like the grandpa.
I think I said my dream on Dynamite is a attempted beatdown of Sting with Flair, Anderson, and Blanchard, where they just all realize they're too old to do that shit anymore. They're just left laying there. Can't do this anymore.
Yeah, just healing over.
Woo!
Yeah, that would be great. I did like the line on Saturday when Nigel said that Nick Wayne loved Christian so much he was thinking of taking his last name, and then they just left it at that.
Nigel's sneaky great.
Yeah.
In this full-on heel character he's decided to adapt from his old basically his old NXT UK persona.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Tony or Kevin Kelly playing off of that's going to be fantastic because it's I don't generally like babyface straight man and color guy who's a character heel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it that much. I'm not as nostalgic for Heenan and Monsoon as some people are. Like because that's not my wheelhouse was the straight ahead sports call for the most part.
I grew up on Jim Ross.
Ross and Shivani were my favorite team for a while when they were in NWA for that short time. Yeah. But I will take this dynamic over whatever the hell Excalibur, Taz, and Shivani are doing on Wednesdays, where they're just trying to cut each other up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at least everybody knows their role and they're playing it.
Excalibur was really good for a good while.
Yes.
And it's just gotten...
And then when Taz got added, he decided to get silly.
Yeah.
It's Taz, because Taz likes to play around and have fun, and Once he
And he can be good too. That's what's
he
tough.
can, like when he's serious, like when he was talking about when he was talking about Team Taz whenever he was on commentary. That was always good stuff.
He's really good at making up the semi-credible
What this hold does.
Yeah, like he's got to pop his hips right there.
Yes.
Like that kind of stuff. And a little bit better than William Regal, where Regal would just make up the most ridiculous things.
Is there any chance the patriarchy wins this?
I would expect him to
continue the feud with Cage and Copeland, or do they let Sting and the good guys win this? Because I have a strong feeling Ric Flair is doing a nut shot to somebody on the heel side. That stupid Ric Flair nut shot that he does, where it's like halfway up the arm,
right,
to make sure everybody sees it.
Yep. Yeah. I'm trying to just go through and see which one would be the best one to do it on. Luchasaurus.
Oh, it's Nick Wayne.
Yeah.
Balls haven't dropped yet, so you can just hit him there.
It's all right.
Terrible. Don't encourage me. Let's just keep moving. Yeah. Luchasaurus would be a good one.
It would be great if Nick Wayne's
can you do a nut shot on a dinosaur? Because like they have scaly skin and stuff. I mean, that
he's probably protected.
Dinosaurs wear a cup.
It's like Stegosaurus plates or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. Evolution is giving him plates.
He's like the next Pokemon of evolution. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's protected. No, I could see Christian winning.
Stegosaurus plate.
Or the Brachiosaur. What's the one that swings a little mace around on his tail?
I don't remember dinosaurs. I haven't studied those in years.
All I remember is the little erasers that I had that were shaped like dinosaurs.
I remember those too.
So I could see Christian winning. I think Copeland. I think it's going to be something where Copeland like kind of wimps out at the end and doesn't want to hurt him or something like that and pays for it.
I don't think Sting loses at a pay-per-view.
I don't think Sting loses, but I could see Darby or Copeland.
Okay.
You don't see even like his team losing?
I think Tony Khan's going to want Sting to have that victory in the major cities.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. They're definitely treating every Sting appearance like a major event right now.
Yes.
Which I like. It's cool as a long time Sting.
Just don't do it every
little
week.
Stinger. Yeah. Hey, as long as they do it in my town, I think they will too, because that was where I think I'm really looking forward to that. I really hope Sting has a moment in Oklahoma
Sting's
City.
jumping off something.
Yeah.
At the Kia Forum.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He will.
It's going to be the New Jack dive again, I think, onto those three.
What are they going to have to talk Ric Flair out of doing is what I'm wondering. Because he's going to want to do something.
Oh, that's right. He's cleared to take bumps.
He's cleared to take bumps by the doctor from The Simpsons.
Although Ric Flair dying in the Forum would be apropos, given the number of. Well, no, seriously, given that during the '80s he was the Lakers guy, and Dusty was the Celtics guy, and he'd always talk about going to the Forum and hanging with Jack Nicklaus. If he died in the Forum, there'd be a certain irony to that.
Yeah, kind of put a damper on the night, but
maybe. I don't know. With that AEW crowd, they'd probably cheer it.
Maybe.
Oh, good. The sexual assaulter's gone. Woohoo!
Yeah, that's true. That is problematic.
Next.
I have, next, moving on. Tony and Shida. I kind of liked that Tony actually had an explanation for her gimmick.
Remind me.
So she had the little sit down. And she said, I wanted to go to All In and come out as champ and win the title and be the 3-time champ in London. And I was going to make history. And you were there. And it was like, here's all these things where I wanted to do something. And Shida, you stopped me from doing it. And then I wanted to win the title, be the first 3-time champ. And then you beat me to it. So since I couldn't make history, I decided to become history.
Huh.
That's a stretch, but I like that she thought it out. I like that she actually thought, why did I become this character?
That's much better than I gave it credit for on Wednesday night. It really is. And I kind of like Luther as Eric von Stroheim
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I like that he kept like the ring. He's got like the nose.
Shida talking, on the other hand, my problem with these segments is Hikaru Shida should not be sitting there and taking this. Because like my favorite thing was when
she's just like not having it.
Yeah, because when Toni Storm came out last week,
yeah,
she just does the cut across the throat and just goes in there and just starts beating the crap out of her. That's why I like, having the person who's the straight person sitting there and listening to all this and instead of just hitting her. Yeah. Problem. There should be a promo into the camera about Hikaru Shida as opposed to Hikaru Shida sitting there.
Right. Or to Jim Ross or Renee or somebody.
Jim Ross.
Maybe not Jim Ross.
Oh, God. You know what? We need that scene from the Kenny Omega thing, except in black and white.
Yeah, it's just him shaking his head. No. Best wishes to Jim. I guess he's got a rest for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, that's enough about that. I think
Toni Storm's winning this title.
Yeah, Toni Storm's winning this title. Yep. A new era for the title. John Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. We kind of already talked about that, but I think that'll be another good one.
Do you think Cassidy retains?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So
I think he will.
And I think Moxley knows that he should retain. I hope he does.
I think he does. Yeah. And I think he's at a point where he's I think he's in a mode where he thinks the character John Moxley needs to be giving up some losses right now. Like it kind of needs something to come back from because he'll probably be losing at the Tokyo Dome too.
And he's also playing the heel in this, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And he seems to be one of those guys who's like, you did it for me, I'll do it for you too. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Strickland versus Page. Now a Texas death match. We finally got Hangman the promo that he should be doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was a miracle.
Hangman always comes through. He just always comes through late.
Yes, it's too late.
Yeah.
So you should have been mad 3 weeks ago, you dope.
It's like, I'm really pissed, but I'm also a procrastinator. That's pretty much like his kid.
Hold on. I'll be pissed in 3 weeks. Promise.
I started to process. I'm an internal processor.
He say, what do they describe James Bond as in Casino Royale? You're a blunt instrument, Mr. Bond. Yeah. Page doesn't emote well.
Yeah.
He's too into his feels, too thinking about himself. Can't process that his child had a promo cut into his crib.
I love that. That's what everybody, every time I hear this described, I love that that's the most egregious part. It's not the home invasion or anything. It's the fact that he cut a promo. That he cut a promo on his child.
Well, hold on. What was the most egregious thing about the break-in other than, eating a few berries in the living room?
It's just a violation.
Yeah. Well, it's also the pure ridiculousness of cutting a promo into an empty crib.
And then leaving a T-shirt.
I mean, if there was like a Barca lounger in there, would he cut a promo on like Hangman's dad or something? Just going to various parts of the house, or and here's where your wife probably makes breakfast. I'm gonna cut a promo into the pan right now.
Yeah. I did like Hangman's line about like you're gonna be dead and buried, and then I'm gonna bring my son once a year so we can piss on your grave.
Oh, this is what I want in wrestling.
Yeah.
I want everybody to be so mad at somebody that they're gonna piss on their grave when they die.
Yeah.
By the way, the best grave dancing scene ever. Wise Guy, the TV show. Did you ever watch that?
Is that with what was Ken
Wall? Yeah, then season 2 or 3, there was the one with the record company. With
I barely remember that.
Okay. Tim Curry and Paul Winfield were like rival record producers or whatever.
Oh wow.
And Paul Winfield's character dies of a heart attack. And Tim Curry shows up in a top hat and tux and tails and a cane and dances on his grave. It is the best thing ever.
Wow. That's got to be on YouTube somewhere. I'll look it up.
Yeah. I'm rewatching that right now, so that's why it came up. Go ahead.
Oh, cool.
Jonathan Banks is outstanding in that show, by the way. He's really good. Okay, sorry.
Wasn't there a guy who was like there was like a breakout role for them on that show?
I think it was Jonathan Banks. Or no, well,
Was it?
Kevin Spacey.
It was Kevin Spacey. Yeah.
First season, yeah. Him and
Yeah.
Joan Severance played like incestuous brother and sister. I'm almost to that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's foreshadowing.
I used to watch it at like 1:30 in the morning in college when I should have been studying or sleeping for my morning class. Sorry.
All right. So Hangman or Swerve, who do you think? Swerve won the last one.
Boy, this could also be like Strickland and AR Fox and Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
This could get messy.
This is going to get ugly.
I think Paige has to win this.
Yeah. Second Texas Death Match this year.
You eat a man's berries in his house?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be Paige.
Okay.
And I hope his kid comes out and pisses on Swerve.
I was about to say, you carry him out.
If we get a urination angle after this, please.
Just hold the child over him. Just let him tinkle.
You know, a squeeze bottle that's remote controlled in the back or something. You know, like Vader's mask, except it's like a kid's bladder. Please.
Yeah, or who was the guy in WWE that they did the thing with that managed the Authors of Pain?
Paul Ellering? Or no. It was the short. It was Rockstar Spud, whatever his name was in WWE, and they had him pee. Yeah, man, that was so dumb.
Talk about a company man.
Oh yeah,
who
still has a job there.
Yeah, good for him.
He's in creative. Yeah,
good for him. He played. I mean, he took a risk.
Oh yeah. Go emasculate yourself on TV, kid.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir. All right. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, the Golden Jets, versus the Young Bucks. If the Omega and Jericho win, they get the World Tag Team title shot that the Young Bucks don't seem to care that much about. And if the Young Bucks win, Omega and Jericho cannot team together again. The Golden Jets are no more. I could see this going either way, actually.
Did you agree with me about that promo?
If I remember right, you said you thought Jericho is too over the top.
Yes.
And the Bucks were actually pretty good.
I thought, the Bucks were good at passive aggressive, but Kenny should have spoke up earlier, and Jericho was being too hard, and it was just okay.
I didn't buy Kenny. I bought the repartee. What I didn't buy was Kenny, like you said, not either intervening or whatever. Like he seemed to be like, well, now I've decided that I'm mad at you, and it just seemed to be setting up this is what annoys me about it. And this is what I'm worried about getting from the Young Bucks over the next couple of months. Yes. It was all to set up a Punk joke.
Yeah.
That he calls them children, and Nick Jackson just goes, "Oh, well, we've been called that before." And they do the little cutesy.
And then Jericho says, "I have my own dressing room."
Yeah. Yeah. There's going to be more of that to come, I think.
They have Golden Jets t-shirts.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Why would... This is going to go... Well, you remember they had the Y2AJ t-shirts that lasted 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is the same. I think the Bucks win this.
I think the Bucks win this, and I think the Bucks join the Callis family.
Yeah. I think they cheat to win.
The family is not...
And they cheat Kenny, not Jericho.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And I'm here for all that.
Yes.
I think that would be good. And it's notable to me that I don't think the Callis family is anywhere else in this show.
Although Omega and Jericho, it depends on who you think's winning that tag team match. Because I can't see them putting the Bucks against Starks and Big Bill.
No.
Even for a one shot.
I could see it. I don't know. I'm feeling, well, we can go ahead and go to that match. I'm kind of feeling LFI.
Oh, are you? Okay. Well, then that would be, then the Bucks could have a super match against LFI.
Or I don't know. To me, it's either LFI or House of Black.
See, I hate this. I wish they had just built one feud with Starks and Big Bill instead of just throwing in four. I'm tired of the multi-team matches for the titles. Yeah. I want to see a one-on-one or a one team versus one team match that goes a while and tells a story.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This was annoying because I think it was like 4 weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, that I was like, I think this is going to be a 4-way match, and these are the teams that are going to be in it. And it was those teams, and they both have been building this for months, but also built it in one night. Like
Yes. Yeah.
they've been setting the stage for it for 3 weeks and went nowhere with it, and then in one night they were like, well, you know, FTR won this great match with the Luchadors, LFI beat the Workhorsemen, and then House of Black beat the Bollywood. Oh, they didn't beat anybody.
Yeah, and then the 2 weeks prior, it's we're having all these teams team with each other type of a
Right.
thing, and
Right.
you're just like, okay, that's not really building a feud. I don't know
Right.
how LFI feels about
Yeah.
each team individually.
Like why would
type of a
why
thing.
like why would Roosh try to save someone that's not on his team? And
Right.
that's how they introduced him. Yeah.
I think Starks and Big Bill win this. It's one of those things where I think it's too soon to take the titles off of them, but
Yeah.
stranger things have happened. LFI would be a good call here.
I think it'd be interesting, and
FTR would be an interesting call, putting the titles back on them. But I don't think that's happening. I mean, but if the Bucks win the other match, then that's the interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put it this way: if Starks and Big Bill win this thing, then it's gonna be Omega and Jericho versus them, not the Bucks.
That would be interesting. It's I don't know how Starks feels right now personally, but it is interesting that a year and a half after he got out of that tag team with Hobbs, now he's the tag team
back with
champion
Big Bill
again. He's just in the same situation he was in a year and a half ago.
Yes, and he's on the Saturday show only. He's not on the big show. He's not getting watched.
He is treated as a bigger deal on the show.
Yes,
but he's still kind of in the same slot.
And he's still talking to Cody.
I
just
think
saying.
that would be a bad place
just
for
saying.
him.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Could you see a case for the Kings of the Black Throne winning this?
I could, just because it seems like they're just always over, and I could see them just saying it's time to give them a title. Like, that's all.
LFI was interesting because I thought they were building them as the main heel stable on that Collision, and they just turned them babyface all of a sudden, and now it feels like they're going to rebuild the Kings of the Black Throne.
Preston Vance, who made his name without a post Dark Order by breaking the heart of a child who lost his father, is now babyface.
Yes, now babyface. Yes.
Yeah.
Who do you have? LFI?
I'm going to go LFI.
I will go LFI with you then. I still think it's too soon to take the titles off of Starks and Big Bill, and they are great.
Yeah.
Their promos are fantastic.
The promo where Lexi told them you're going to defend against 3 teams, and he's like, "Oh, one more time, I'm the last one to find out."
Yes.
And I'm like, "Yep." He's great at cutting promos that we can relate to.
And I think Bill's great too. I mean, Bill
he is.
He's just sitting there. It's funny to watch Lexi when Bill's speaking, because that's her dude.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I'll pay attention to that.
Yeah, there's a little gleam.
It's like
Lexi is.
It's like our own little Taylor and Travis.
Lexi might get my most improved if it were just based on interviewers and stuff like that.
Yes, Renee has rubbed off on her well.
She's doing well here, and she's also great. If you haven't watched the minion training that Athena does with Billy Starks and Lexi.
Mm-mm.
She's fantastic in them. She has comedy chops that I never thought she had.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's good with Mark too. Mark Briscoe. She has the perfect amount of like, I really like you, but I'm not going to break character kind of thing.
And the shock when Mark just decides to go full ham on the interview type of a thing.
Yeah. That's true. All right. Last one. Well, it's kind of, we already talked about it. Statlander versus Hart versus Sky Blue or Red Velvet.
It will be Sky Blue.
Sky Blue is going to win the TBS title, you think?
No. I meant between her and Red Velvet. It's going to be her.
Oh, okay.
Boy, Tony likes him some Sky Blue.
He does, and I'm not going to say anything that's going to get me in trouble on a VOW Discord, but he does seem to be a big fan of Sky Blue.
Is he interfering in that relationship at all? That's all I want to know. But nevertheless, I think they've been playing up this Julia Hart's been undefeated for this long type of a thing. I think Julia Hart's taking this title.
I think so too. I think does Sky Blue become Sky Black?
All right, now saying that, does that change your mind about the tag match? Because I could see Hart and the Kings of the Black Throne.
That's a good point.
Hold gold.
And if that happens, does Stark go babyface?
Boy, that feels like a Judgment Day chasing thing, doesn't it? Too.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Man,
boy, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. If Sky Blue, I think Sky Blue joins the House of Black again.
Yeah. Yeah.
That this entire Blue Mist thing was an absolute red herring.
Yeah.
It was a red velvet herring, but it was a red herring nevertheless.
I could see that.
And I think we just dropped the part about the Willow thing where it was starting to overtake her.
Right. I've got this sneaky fear though that Willow's still doing it and they're just not going to be able to resist because of course
like a coven type thing, like the three of them.
I don't want to see that, but I don't know.
They could do Macbeth. It'll be awesome.
Toil and Trouble. That's a good name for a tag team. Why hadn't that ever been a tag team name? Toil and Trouble.
That should be the name of the Butcher and the Blade.
Yeah.
Toil and Trouble.